There are two major historical events that happened in 1872. The first one was the 1872 Cavite Mutiny, and the other one was the martyrdom of the three martyr priests in the persons of Father Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora. These are said to be the two of the most significant events in history that paved the way to the emergence of national consciousness and later on, the Philippine Revolution. In fact, Jose Rizal wrote to Mariano Ponce in 1889 stating that without 1872, there would not now be a Plaridel, a Jaina, and a Santiago. Without 1872, Rizal would now be a Jesuit, and instead of writing the Noli Me Tangere, he would have written the contrary. The death of Gomborza is said to be the principal reason why the Filipinos decided to revolt against the Spanish ruling, but only few knew about the reason why Gomborza was executed. Today, let us find out how the Cavite Mutiny was linked to the execution of the three martyr priests. Okay, let us try to understand what happened in Cavite. What are the significant events that paved the way for 1898 Philippine Revolution? Ano yung nangyari sa Cavite? Because it was believed to be one of the most significant events, kaya nagkaroon ng revolution in 1898. So, we know that Cavite in history as a place where most of the important events happened. That included the declaration of the Philippine independence in 1898. But maybe only few of us heard about what happened in Cavite in 1872, where it was probably one of the most significant events kasi kung hindi nangyari ang Cavite Mutiny, hindi nagkaroon ng Philippine Revolution in 1896. So let us try to understand how did it start. Okay, so to be specific, nangyari siya sa Cavite Arsenal. It was said to be a brief uprising among 200 Filipino troops and workers of Cavite Arsenal. Ang Cavite Arsenal ay pagawaan siya ng mga armas. Ang mutiny was participated by the workers of Cavite Arsenal. Now let us start with the leadership or sino yung namuno sa panahong yun. Before Rafael D. Izquierdo, we know in history that most of the Spanish leaders who ruled the country were cruel and brutal to the Filipinos. But in the history, okay, we seldom heard of Spanish rulers who have showed compassion among Filipinos. Pero meron. Prior to the Izquierdo, it was Governor General Carlos Maria de la Torre. So, iba si Carlos Maria de la Torre kasi siya yung isa sa mga Governor General who showed mercy and compassion to the Filipinos during his leadership. But along with the removal of Queen Isabel II, okay, yan si Queen Isabel, nung natanggal siya sa posisyon niya bilang reyna ng Espanya noon, Carlos Maria de la Torre was also removed in governorship. So, Carlos Maria de la Torre brought liberal thoughts in the Philippines to be able to protect themselves from the abuse of the Spaniards. It was also during this time when the Filipinos had been granted with privileges that included the 15 that included exemption from Polo a Servicio and other tax related privileges. Okay, so they also allowed freedom of speech among Filipinos sa time ni Governor Carlos Maria de la Torre. However, yun nga, sa pagkakatanggal ni Queen Isabel II, Carlos Maria de la Torre was also removed in the office. So, he was then replaced by Rafael D. Izquierdo. So, if Carlos Maria de la Torre showed mercy and compassion, it was directly opposite with Rafael D. Izquierdo. So, ito siya. Rafael D. Izquierdo was believed to reimpose censorship and eliminate all the privileges that was that the Filipinos were enjoying during that time. So, he even banned all the talks of reform and liberty. He also stopped the Filipinization of the parishes in the country. So, meaning to say, Filipino priests were no longer allowed to be a friar curate, and they also removed the exemptions of the Filipinos on forced labors and tributes. So, lahat ng mga privileges na ini-enjoy ng mga Filipino doon, tinanggal sa panahon ng leadership ni Rafael D. Izquierdo. Okay, so, nagkaroon ng new religious order. They opposed the plan for they believed that Filipinos were not worthy to become friar curate. Only Spanish friars were allowed to serve as the highest in the highest among the people behind the church. So, many friars fought against that. Okay, they fought for the right to serve as the friar curate, one of which was Father Pelaez. Father Pelaez, ecclesiastical governor of the church, who believed that Filipino priests should be given the chance to serve. So, Governor General Simon de Anda also sided with the Filipinos. And after that, Father Jose Burgos continued the fight upon the death of Pelaez. So, paano nga ba nagsimula ang Cavite Mutiny? So, anong nangyari? Kung bakit nasali sa usapan ng Cavite Mutiny ang Gumborsa, at bakit ang Cavite Mutiny ang naging rason kung bakit napatay yung Gumborsa. Okay, the Cavite Mutiny, the controversy behind the Cavite Mutiny had two versions. The first one was the Filipino version, kung ano yung versions ng mga Filipino sa pagkakaalam nila, and it also had a Spanish version. Now, let us try to understand first kung ano yung Filipino version ng Cavite Mutiny. So, it was said to be, according to the Filipinos, a mutiny by the Filipino soldiers and laborers of Cavite Arsenal. Sa kadahilanan nga, yun nga, all the privileges that they were enjoying were removed, were eliminated. So, bumalik sila sa kung ano yung dati. Bumalik sila sa pang-aabuso sa mga laborers at pagpapataw ng napakataas na buwis sa mga Pilipino. And at the same time, ang puwersahang pagtatrabaho o yung polo y servicios. So, it turned out they become dissatisfied with all the eradications of their privileges. And Pardo de Tavera blamed Izquierdo's harsh leadership because of that. Kasi ang philosophy ni D. Izquierdo kasi, you have this crucifix in one hand and sword of the other. That means he wanted to impose fear among Filipinos during that time. That's why he was very harsh when it comes to his impositions of the way he administered the Filipinos, or his kind of leadership. So, it was basically a response to injustice. Para sa mga Pilipino, it was a response to injustice. Sa kanila, parang yun yung paraan ng mga Pilipino para matigil yung pang-aabuso ng mga Espanyol sa pamumuno ni De Izquierdo. So, kaya lang, um, na nasali ang Gomborsa sa usapin ng revolusyon na iyon kasi nga may ibang bersyon ang Cavite Mutiny. Ito yung Spaniards version ng Cavite Mutiny. Okay, it was said to be a conspiracy among educators, leaders, mestizos, and native lawyers, including the clergies, and not only the laborers of Cavite Arsenal. So that's why the Cavite Mutiny was said to be instigated because pinamunuan siya ng mga pare. At walang separation ng church and state sa panahon na yon. Kaya naniwala si De Izquierdo that it was a planned revolution. Napakalaking revolution ang gagawin nila. Kaya pinatay nila yung mga tao sa Cavite, yung mga workers ng Cavite Arsenal who participated the revolution. Kasi kung hindi daw nila pinatay yun, malamang mas malaking kawalan yun. Mas malaki at mas malawak ang damages na mangyayari. So that's why mutiny happened. And De Izquierdo believed na ang plano nila was to overthrow the Spanish officials. It was a plan to liquidate high-ranking Spanish officers and then to be followed by the massacre of the Spanish friars. Kasi sa secularization of priests, sa new religious order kasi hindi na allowed yung mga Filipino friars na mamuno. Kaya they believe that pagkatapos ma-overthrow ng Spanish government, isusunod nilang patayin yung mga Spanish friars. So, it was also they also believed that the mutiny was empowered by the group of native clergies led by Father Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora. So, that's why nasali yung pangalan ng tatlong pare sa revolusyon na nangyari. And, yun. So, Cavite Mutiny happened, according to Filipino versions, was that it was because of the harsh administration of Rafael de Izquierdo. Pero iba yung sinasabi ng mga Espanyol. Sabi nila, gusto ng mga Pilipino na mawala ang mga Espanyol sa pamumuno. Pati na yung mga paring Espanyol. The authorities received a communication that the great uprising would break out against the Spaniards, and they also planned to assassinate the Governor General himself. So nagalit si Rafael de Izquierdo kasi kasali siya sa mga allegedly ipapapatay ng mga workers ng Cavite Arsenal noon. Yun, so the Izquierdo reported it also to the King of Spain that the rebels wanted to overthrow the Spanish government to install a new Hari in the likes of Father Burgos and Father Zamora. And the general even added that the native clergy enticed other participants by giving them charismatic assurance that their fight will not fail because God is with them. So, umabot ito sa kaalaman ng hari ng Espanya na ang planong pagpapapatay ng mga rebel sa Cavite Arsenal sa Governor General. The sad thing was, La Madrid government, without any attempt to investigate the real facts or extent of the alleged revolution, reported it to De Izquierdo. And the Spanish government during that time, the King of Spain, did not also investigate what really happened in Cavite Arsenal. Eventually, they believed that Gomborsa was behind it. Na sinasabi nila na ginamit ng Gomborsa ang influence nila bilang mga pare para mag-organisa ng revolution sa Cavite Arsenal. And that's why the Gomborsa were arrested and eventually executed. So what are the significance of the Cavite Mutiny that connects to Philippine Revolution in 1896? Okay, one of the most important thing that happened, or one of the most important events that happened because Cavite Mutiny happened, was the execution of the Gomborsa. Kasi konektado lahat ito. Okay, kung hindi namatay ng Gomborsa, hindi matatauhan ang mga Pilipino na kailangan nila ng bagong gobyerno. Okay, Gomborsa became the face of the emergence of the national consciousness. So, even this one, umabot ito sa kaalaman ng batang si Jose Rizal. Kasi nung 1872, bata pa si Jose Rizal noon. And sinabi ng kapatid niya, si Protasio, kung ano yung nangyari kung bakit pinatay ang Gomborsa. And Gomborsa also became the battle cry of the propaganda movement. And we know na sa mga nobela ni Rizal, the writings of Rizal were also inspired by the Gomborsa. That included the Noli Me Tangere and El Feli. So, paano ko nasabing konektado lahat yon? It's because kung hindi nagkaroon kung hindi nangyari ang Cavite Mutiny, hindi mapapatay ang Gomborsa. Kung hindi napatay ang Gomborsa, diba, even Rizal was very expressive about it, na kung hindi napatay yung Gomborsa, malamang naging pare din si Rizal. Kaya lang, nung naintindihan niya kung ano yung nangyari, anong totoong nangyari, kung bakit napatay ang Gomborsa, his writings were inspired by the life of Gomborsa and kung paano sila naging matapang sa panahon nung kailangan nilang tumayo para sa sarili nila. So that's why national consciousness emerged, because Rizal wrote about it. And dahil sa mga naisulat ni Rizal, na-inspired yung maraming mga patriots noon, kasali na doon si Andres Bonifacio. At dahil nga na-influence si Andres Bonifacio ng mga writings ni Rizal, nabuo at naorganisa ang Katipunan. At ang Katipunan ang isang dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon ng Philippine Revolution and eventually paved the way for the momentous 1898 Philippine independence. So I hope you follow that how this Cavite Mutiny became very significant event in the past that connects us to the very historic Philippine Revolution in 1896. I hope you learned something from this very short video. Thank you for listening.
Punitin para sa kalayaan! Punitin!